Hello everyone, myself Shivani Indumati, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Technology, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. So today's lecture will be about acid coagulated and the fermented dairy products. So in this lecture, we'll be discussing about what is coagulation, what is fermentation, and what are the products obtained by coagulation and the fermentation and its processing methodology. So what is coagulation? So coagulation, it is the process of converting the liquid milk to a solid or a semi-solid state is known as the coagulation. So this coagulation is done by two ways. First one is the acidification and second one is by action of enzyme. So in acidification process, the acid, example, citric acid, vinegar or acetic acid is being added to the milk. So when these acids are being added to the milk starts to coagulate. This is by acidification. And second one is by action of enzyme. So when an enzyme is added to the milk starts to coagulate. For example, rennet, which is an enzyme, it has been added to the milk starts to coagulate. So the cheese, which is a product obtained by acid coagulation, and paneer, it is a product obtained by acidification. So what happens during this coagulation is that the casein, which is a milk protein, it destabilizes and it aggregates to form a gel enclosing the soluble milk component. So this is known as the coagulation. So paneer, as I told you earlier, it is the heat acid coagulated milk product. So how this paneer is being manufactured is that to a standardized milk. So standardized milk, which has a fat percentage of 4.5 fat percentage, to that the permitted acids such as citric acid or vinegar is being added to the standardized milk. So when these acids are being added to the standardized milk, the milk starts to coagulate. The resultant coagulant is filtered and it is pressed to form a sliceable curd mass. The paneer has a firm, cohesive, spongy body texture and it has a smooth texture. And we'll see about the composition of the paneer. So the paneer, it is a fat-rich product which has a fat percentage of 23% and protein of about 18%, lactose of about 2%, ash content of about 2% and total solids of about 46%. So let's see about the manufacturing of paneer. So first one is the receiving the milk. So the high quality of milk is being received. The milk is being subjected to the quality platform test to evaluate the quality parameter of the milk, and after evaluation of platform test, the milk moves to the process called standardization. So during standardization, the fat and the solid not fat content are being adjusted as per the requirement, and after standardization the milk is being heated to 90 degrees Celsius. So by heating the milk to 90 degrees Celsius, the pathogenic microorganisms present in the milk are being destroyed, and this heat treatment also improves the shelf life of the product. And after heat treatment, the milk is being cooled to 70 degrees Celsius. And after cooling it to 70 degrees Celsius, 1% of citric acid. So this is the coagulant. So 1% of citric acid is being added to a cooled milk. And immediately after adding the citric acid, what happens is the milk, it coagulates and it gets separated into a two phase. One is the solid and other one is the liquid phase. So the liquid phase is known as the whey and the solid phase is known as the coagulant. So the coagulum is being separated and this coagulum is being pressed in order to remove the excess whey, and this coagulum is cut into a small blocks and then it is being packed and it is stored at refrigerated temperature in order to improve the shelf life of the product. So this is all about the manufacturing of paneer, which is a acid coagulated product. And we'll see about the fermented dairy products. So the fermented dairy products is made by the milk is allowed to ferment with a lactic acid bacteria called lactobacillus. Okay, so here the milk is being fermented using the harmless microorganisms or the bacterial culture. So during the fermentation, the milk proteins and lactose, it gets broken down, and this fermentation, it improves the taste of the milk, and it also improves easy digestion. Okay, and this fermented milk products are dahi, lassi, buttermilk, shrikhand, chakka. So these are the fermented dairy products, and we'll see about dahi. So dahi, it is also known as the curd. So the exact definition of curd, it is a semi-solid product, and it is obtained from pasteurized or boiled milk by fermenting using the harmless lactic acid or other bacterial culture. So to a pasteurized milk, the harmless lactic acid bacteria is being inoculated, and it is allowed to ferment for 6 to 8 hours, so that there will be a formation of curd. So the milk protein, it coagulates and it turns into a curd. So the composition of dahi, in a whole milk dahi, 85 to 85 percentage of water content is present, and the fat is about 5 to 8 percentage. Protein content is of about 3.2 to 3.4 percentage. Lactose of about 4.6 to 5.2 percentage. Lactic acid of about 0.5 to 1.1 percentage, and ash content of about 0.7 to 0.5 percentage. So we'll see about traditional method of curd preparation. So the first process is the receiving of milk. So the high quality of milk is being received, and it will be subjected to a platform test in order to evaluate the quality parameters of the milk. And after the platform test, the milk will be subjected to a preheating of 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, and after preheating, the milk will be subjected to filtration. So filtration is done in order to remove the impurities present in the milk. And after filtration, it moves to the standardization. So standardization, where the fat and the solid non-fat are being adjusted as per the requirements of the product. And after standardization, the milk moves for the preheating. The preheating is done at 60 degrees Celsius, and after preheating, homogenization process is being done. So homogenization process, the larger fat globules are being converted into a smaller fat globules. So homogenizer is an equipment used for homogenization, and after homogenization, the milk is being heated to 90 degrees Celsius. So this process is known as pasteurization. So here the pathogenic microorganisms are being destroyed, and after cooling, immediately after pasteurization, the milk is being cooled to 30 degrees Celsius, and after cooling, the starter culture, which is the lactic acid bacillus or bacterial culture of 1 to 1.5 percentage of starter culture is being added to the milk, and then it has been packed, and it has been incubated at a temperature of 30 to 37 degrees Celsius, and it has been incubated for 6 to 8 hours. And after 6 to 8 hours, the milk proteins are being coagulated, and it's being formed as a curd, and then curd is being stored at 5 degrees Celsius. So this is about the method of curd preparation. So today we have discussed about the two products. One is the paneer, and the other one is the curd. Okay, thank you.